So the plans for today are to talk a lot about gratitude. And it seems quite fitting because just in the last couple of hours, a very good friend of mine, Alice, in London, died from lung and pancreas cancer that was discovered too late, and he actually didn't even have a chance for treatment. So my love goes to you, Paul, and to Brendan and little Edie. All the best. Okay, so going back to the first treatment, and I was saying I kind of got through it and it was all manageable. Oh, by the way, I'm 7 days past my last chemo, so I'm feeling much, much more like a person. I'm still a little bit tired, but managing to do a little bit more stuff and so on. Anyway, the only sort of bad side effects from the first chemo were really bad mouth ulcers, and I'm talking tongue, gums, lips, everywhere was just ana, and that lasted for about 8 days. Since then, I've been very proactive. So 2 days before chemo, I start spraying my mouth with antibiotic sprays and stuff, and I just try to keep them at bay. It works pretty much, and I've kind of got that situation under control. But afterwards, I was a bit tired, but did quite well. I only realize now that I've kind of been accumulating all along. But I think what I want to talk about today is that I've got to be so grateful for so many things. And I look at other people and my dear Paul passing now, and I just know how grateful I am for so many things. And first of all, the fantastic medical people, the admin, the nurses, the doctors, it goes without saying, they're just absolutely brilliant, and they're so on the ball and ready with new technology and new treatments and all of that. So let me go down it's just off the top of my head. I hope I remember everything, but I'm very grateful we found these tumors early enough. I'm grateful it's one of the most common cancers and can be fixed. I'm grateful that the tumors on my liver are so small. So even though I am stage 4, and that means the cancer's metastasized to my liver, the 3 little tumors there are quite small. And hopefully next Tuesday we find out they've reduced even more, so I can go and start with my surgery and get that done and over with. I'm so grateful that being a common cancer, they know exactly what chemos to use and to go in and what rates and everything. And I'm grateful that we could use the biologicals, which are initially my medical aid didn't want to cover. And they were very expensive. And I was so grateful that we were able to actually go into our savings and buy that horrible stuff. But grateful that that's going to give me, I think, a 40% better chance of recovery. Good news is another thing I'm grateful for. On my 5th chemo, medical aid came to the party and said, no problem, we'll pay. We haven't got the payment yet for the 4 treatments prior to that, but at least they've admitted that they will pay for it. So that's amazing. I'm grateful I didn't lose my hair. I didn't think it was going to be a problem in my life. I've had short hair for years, and I've even shaved my head myself. But I'm grateful because when I see what it means to other people, I'm grateful mine's still there. Might lose it if I have more chemo. I don't know. I'm grateful that I've got such a fantastic support. My family goes without saying, but the friends and people around, another friend came today and dropped off soup and bread, which was so amazing. I had such a nice lunch. I'm grateful. Here's my little Eddie. I'm so grateful for Edward and for Madeleine for being my little nurse carers. They're by my side 100% of the time. So that is a lot of things to be grateful for. And then next week is going to be a big one, because I found out, I think I mentioned before about the tumors and so on. But now also another thing that's part of the grateful thing is I started noticing the people around me that were also getting chemo. And I think my second treatment was the saddest, because there were two young women, like in their late 20s, early 30s, that had come in for breast cancer chemo, and they were getting that horrible red devil. And I just thought, these women are so young. I don't know if they've got kids, but and the one before they put the infusion in, she was going straight into her vein in her hand. She was so tearful, and I'm not very good at opening up to strangers, but I just held her hand and I said, it's going to be so shitty, but it's going to fix you. It's going to give you a chance. And she in particular, a couple of weeks before, had been playing with her puppy on the bed, and her puppy had jumped on her, and she thought, on her chest, and she thought, oh, well, no problem. 2 days later, she had a lump on her breast that was quite sore, and then a few days later the lump was bigger and more sore, so she went to her doctor, and that's how they found out that she had breast cancer. The other lady, I didn't really get her backstory, but she was so full of smiles and she was so young, and I just looked at her and I thought, oh, you're so amazing. I just hope it works for you. And that same chemo, or it might have been the next one, but I think it was the second one, there was an old man next to me. I mean, he was finished. He was wheeled in a wheelchair, hooked up to his chemo, basically was sleeping under a blankie. He had a helper with him holding his hand. And I also just thought, sure, does your family really want you to go through this? I mean, it was very difficult. I didn't speak to him. He was sleeping, but I just thought, later on in life, I mean, is it worth it? But I suppose the hope that you'll be better is the biggest aim we're all going for. So now I'm a little bit more open when I'm sitting in those chairs watching those people. And I think my third treatment, there was this guy on his computer and talking non-stop with earphones in and running his business and being all macho and stuff. And I was so irritated by this man. He was also hooked up to his chemo. And I put my earphones in and just went onto YouTube or Netflix or something. I thought, oh God, can you just stop talking? Anyway, I've seen this guy twice since then, and I feel so bad. I was so irritated by him. The second time he was so subdued, and he had his laptop out, but not really running his corporations anymore. And the third time I saw him, he was just like a shell. And I just thought, there was no laptop, there was no phone. He was just there to get his treatment done and go home. And I feel quite bad. I think if I see him again, I'm going to go chat to him. I think that's all I've got to say for now. Just the only sort of other thing is, basically every time I've gone for chemo and do those blood tests, I've had to do those Neupogen injections. So it's now just a given that it's going to happen. So next Tuesday are my appointments for a CT scan, an MRI, and to meet the surgeon, who's a colorectal heppo something. So that's basically a liver and cancer specialist surgeon. And he will look at my MRIs and CT scans from the beginning, and then determine that if hopefully they've shrunk. Please, can they shrink? I just want to break from chemo. I just want to break. It's horrible. I'll do surgery 10 times to just not do chemo. Anyway, so that's next Tuesday, which we have to do. So Monday I'll go for the blood test. We'll check if I have to. I'll have to take one of those bone marrow injections, because if the tumors haven't shrunk on Tuesday, I have to do another round of chemo. That's too much. But I saw a YouTube channel. I think it's called My Patient. I can't remember. But anyway, this guy had gone through this hectic chemo and treatments and what have you. And he said the only way he can do it, he's a survivor now, but he says, you just got to do it. You can't help yourself by not doing it. So I just got to do it. And I'm going to do it. And we'll see. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.